You keep saying you want it. Your calendar says otherwise. Pull it up right now. Not what you meant to do this week, but I'm saying pull up what you actually did, where the hours actually went. Because I don't care what you told your friends or what you posted or what you said in your head when you were falling asleep about how badly you want this. I give a shit about the calendar because the calendar is the only witness in the room. It doesn't give a fuck about your intentions. It only records what actually happened. And if you look at it right now, I mean, really look at it. I promise you, the thing you say you want the most is nowhere on it. It's not blocked out. It's not protected. It got a leftover 20 minutes, if it got anything at all, squeezed in after everyone else's priorities took the real estate while you told yourself you would get to it when shit calmed down. Things are never going to calm down, and your calendar's been telling you this the entire time. Hey, you guys, welcome to Listen Bitch Podcast. I am Brandon Lynette. In case you're new here, I am the Voice Authority podcast coach, and your message, your potential is your purpose. It's time to get the fuck over yourself and go build shit. I really just want to talk about the gap between what you say and what you schedule because that gap is really where dreams go to die quietly. And there is no funeral, there's no big announcement, there's no viral post. It's just a slow fade into the someday that never comes. You do not need more desire. You are drowning in desire already. You need your calendar to finally agree with your mouth. Obviously, before we go in today, this episode is brought to you by Super Patch. Focused because protecting time on your calendar and actually holding that boundary requires real mental clarity. The kind that does not cave the second something else feels urgent. Focus supports concentration and mental clarity. These are drug-free vibrotactile technology. It's working directly through your nervous system. It is the best way I could describe it without you experiencing it is like it's braille for your brain. I always have a link in the show notes. Um, but you guys, truly, calendar. A calendar is, it's basically just a confession. It's not a scheduling tool. It's confession. It tells the truth about what you actually value, whether or not that truth matches the story that you are telling people about yourself. You say your calling matters most. Your calendar says your inbox matters most because that is where the first 2 hours of your day actually go. You say your health is a priority. Your calendar says otherwise because there is no time blocked for it anywhere. Just a vague hope that it'll happen if the day goes well. You say you are building something. Your calendar says you're managing everyone else's something because every slot is filled with other people's requests and there's nothing left over for the shit that you claim is the whole point of your life. This is not a lecture about time management. This is about honesty. A calendar can't lie the way that your mouth can. And your mouth can say anything. It can say, I really want this. This matters so much to me. I'm going to make this happen. And none of that costs anything because words are free and infinite and they're easy. Your calendar costs something. Every block on it is a real hour that you will never get back spent on the thing it says you spent it on. When you look at where your actual hours went, you're looking at your actual priorities, stripped of the bullshit story you tell about them. If you want to know what you truly value, stop listening to what you say and start looking at your schedule. Look at what you are putting on the schedule. The calendar always tells the truth, even when you've spent years lying to yourself about what that is and what it says. And the shit that you say you want the most, like it's getting the leftovers. And you guys, I see this pattern. I saw this pattern when I was business coaching, life coaching. I see it now in podcasting. This is the pattern. And you'll recognize it when I say it. The shit that you claim that matters most to you. The calling, the book, the podcast, the business, the goal you talk about with that real longing in your voice. Like you could tell you feel like you want it. It gets whatever time is left after everything else has already taken its share. It gets the 20 minutes before bed when you're too tired to do shit well. It gets the maybe this weekend that keeps sliding into next weekend. It gets squeezed into the cracks of the day that they're already full before you even consider it. Instead of getting the prime real estate, the protected block, the non-negotiable hour that everything else has to work around, everything that gets scheduled first on purpose with intention is what you actually prioritize, whether you admit it or not. And everything that only gets whatever is left over is what you have quietly decided is optional. No matter what you tell people when they ask, you can't claim something is your biggest priority while treating it like an afterthought on your own calendar. The calendar doesn't give a fuck about what you claim. It only reflects your actual behavior. And this is the part that stings the most. The thing that's getting the leftovers is usually the shit that would change your entire life if you actually gave it real time. Not the leftover 20 minutes, but like a real protected, non negotiable block. The same kind of block you would never dream of skipping for a client meeting or your kid's doctor's appointment. You protect the shit you've decided is real. The dream stays unprotected because somewhere you've decided it's optional. Maybe it's like a nice idea rather than a real commitment, and your calendar's been broadcasting that decision for a very long time. And there's shit that's actually happening in your brain. And this is why the gap between saying and scheduling exists. And it's not a discipline problem. It is a wiring problem that is worth understanding because neuroplasticity, baby. Okay. But we'll talk about that. Talking about your goal and acting on your goal light up different systems in the brain. So when you talk about this shit you want, when you describe it, when you dream about it, when you tell someone your plan, your brain releases a small hit of dopamine. It's the same reward chemical that would come from actually doing it. That's well documented. Lots of research, don't take my word for it. Look it up. The brain, in some ways, treats announcing the intention as a partial substitute for the action itself. You get a taste of the satisfaction of having done the shit just from talking about it, which quietly reduces the pressure to actually go fucking do it. And this is why some people talk about their dreams constantly and somehow never move on them. The talking is genuinely chemically scratching part of the itch that the doing was supposed to scratch. And then scheduling forces a different, more honest confrontation because a calendar block requires you to trade something real. Every hour you give to the goal is an hour you're not giving to something else. And your brain, when it's faced with an actual trade off instead of a comfortable fantasy, will often default to whatever feels more urgent or certain in the moment because certainty feels safer than the uncertain payoff of a dream that has not delivered results yet. The inbox has a guaranteed immediate resolution. The dream has a distant, uncertain one. Given the choice, your brain will often protect the guaranteed dopamine of clearing the inbox over the uncertain dopamine of working towards something that has not paid off yet. This is fixable, but you have to remove the choice from the moment. Do not decide each day whether today is the day you finally work on the goal, because in that moment, the urgent and certain thing will usually win. Decide once, like in advance, and put it on the calendar as a fixed, non negotiable block. The same category as a doctor's appointment that you would never casually cancel. Okay. When the decision is already made and it's protected on the calendar, you remove the daily negotiation where your brain talks you out of it. The calendar becomes the discipline so your willpower doesn't have to fight the same battle every fucking day. Imagine you had told me your health was the most important thing in your life. And then I look at your kitchen and I found it stocked entirely with whatever was on sale, whatever was easiest to grab, whatever required no thought or planning at all. I would not believe your words. You're full of shit. I would believe the kitchen. The kitchen tells me what you actually prioritize when nobody's asking you to perform the answer out loud. And your calendar is the fucking kitchen. It is stocked right now with exactly what you have actually prioritized, whether or not that matches the answer you would give someone if someone asked you what mattered most. And just like nobody accidentally stocks a kitchen full of junk while claiming health is the priority, nobody accidentally fills every hour of their calendar with someone else's bullshit request while claiming their own calling is the priority. It happens because somewhere beneath the words, that is genuinely the order things have been placed in. If you want a different kitchen, you do not just go around talking about eating better. You go to the store and buy different food, and then you put it in different places on purpose before you're hungry and tired and reaching for whatever is easiest. If you want a different calendar, you don't talk about your priorities. You block the time in advance before the day gets hungry and tired and reaches for whatever is easiest to fill the hour with. Stock the calendar the way you would stock a kitchen for the person you actually want to become. And I do this. This is how I can see you because you guys, I've been through this. This is not about desire. Your desire has never been the problem. It's obvious. I see the way you guys talk about it, the specific light in your voice when you describe what it would mean to actually build this shit. That light is real. Every time someone is like, oh, I would love this podcast, this is what I would talk about. Like, it's real. I'm not questioning about whether you want it. I'm telling you that wanting it and scheduling it have become two completely separate things in your life, and only one of these will actually produce anything. I see you because you have confused talking about the dream with working on the dream because talking feels almost as good and it costs a lot less. You've been getting a small taste of the satisfaction from describing it, just enough to quiet the urgency. And that taste has been substituting for the meal longer than you realize. I wouldn't even necessarily say that you're lazy. You're just chemically satisfied enough by the conversation that the doing keeps getting put off. And nobody's telling you this is happening, so you've been blaming your discipline for a long time when it's really just your calendar. And what I see underneath all of this, I see someone whose entire life could look different in 6 months if you simply put the shit on the calendar the way you put that doctor's appointment on the calendar. Fixed, protected, non-negotiable. Not more desire, not more motivation, just an honest calendar that finally matches an honest mouth. If your calendar just told on you, I want you to send this show out to the person you know talks about their dream constantly and has never once blocked time for it. And then I want you to turn around and go fix your own calendar. Make sure you guys subscribe, leave a written review. It just takes a couple minutes, okay? There is a story Jesus told about two sons. I've probably told you guys this before, but it's fine because I mean, I read the stories over and over and they never get old. So I feel like you'd probably feel the same. Father asked both of them to go into the vineyard. And the first son said no, he wouldn't go, and later changed his mind and went anyway. The second son said yes, of course, absolutely. And then he never went. Jesus asked which one actually did the will of his father. And the answer is obvious, not the one who said the right words. It's the one whose actions match the assignment, regardless of what he said first. The second son's yes cost him nothing in the moment. Of course, it felt good to say, right? It kept the peace. It sounded like a commitment, and it meant absolutely dog shit because the vineyard never got worked. You have been the second son with your own calling. Yes, absolutely. This matters so much to me. I'm going to do this. And the vineyard, the actual work, the actual hours never happen because yes was free and the doing wasn't. And you keep choosing the free shit while you're telling yourself the free thing counts. God is not impressed by just a yes. He is watching the vineyard. Your calendar is the vineyard. It shows exactly who's been working and who has just been talking. And it does not give a shit how sincerely you meant it when you said yes. Go do the work or stop calling the talking a yes. Open your calendar right now. Find the shit you claim. Find the shit you claim that matters most to you. If it's not there, that's your answer before you have to go any further. Block it like the most important thing you could block. Fixed time, protect, non-negotiable, treat it with the same seriousness you would treat an obligation you would never casually cancel. Do not wait to feel ready to block it. Just block it and let the doing create the readiness. Take the action. That's where the momentum comes from. And then notice the moment you catch yourself talking about the dream instead of scheduling it. That satisfaction you feel from describing it is real, and it's also quietly letting you off the hook. So I want you to feel it, and then I want you to turn around and go put the time on the calendar anyway. And I get it. I mean, what's the truth? We know that your calendar has been snitching on you this whole episode and you've been ignoring, you're ignoring the witness because you didn't like what I had to say. You keep saying you want it. And the calendar says otherwise because the calendar doesn't give a fuck about what you say. It only records what you actually do or did with your hours. And your hours have been going everywhere except towards the shit you claim that matters most. That gap between your mouth and your calendar is not a small detail. It is the entire explanation for why the dream hasn't moved in years while you've talked about it for years. You are not the son who said no and never went exactly. You are the one who says yes every single time with feeling, with sincerity, and then goes back to the inbox instead of the vineyard. And the vineyard's just been sitting there this whole time unworked while you collect the small comfort of having said the right thing about it. Don't talk about it, be about it. You guys have heard that, right? Stop talking about it like it's a priority while your calendar is proving the truth. It's an afterthought. Block the fucking time. Protect it the way you would protect the shit you've already decided is real. The only thing standing between you and the life you keep describing is an honest calendar that finally matches your honest mouth. So open it right now. Put that shit on it. Podcast episode recording today. Not someday, today, while this is still ringing in your ears before you go back to telling people how much you want it while your calendar keeps calling you a damn liar. Okay? I want you guys to check the show notes. I would love to work with you. You guys know I still have an interview show, right? I dare you to come tell me why you were special. It's a fast show. We got 20 to 30 minutes of recording And we just highlight whatever it is you do, who you are, what your story is. So if you want a little practice before you actually put your own podcast in your calendar, then why don't you email me? And I dare you to come tell me why you're special. I love you, bitches.